What's up YouTube, That's here, bringing you some more games from my Nugget Bridge Live tournament featuring Mega Metagross. Today we're using Sableye and Metagross as our lead again, pairing it off with Latios and Mamoswine, going against Isaiah who is using Aromatisse, Aegislash, Jellicent, and Camerupt. Super standard Trick Room on my opponent's side, and if you remember yesterday's battle, I didn't do very well, but I wanted to give a little bit of a spoiler. That's actually the guy that wins the tournament, so I don't know. It redeems a little bit. I was looking back at like the actual matchups and who actually won the tournament and stuff, and the guy that I played yesterday won the whole thing. So I guess that redeems me just a little bit. But now I'm getting off topic. Let's get back to this game. Like I said, he's going to be using standard Trick Room. So if I can stop the Trick Room from going up, I should be able to stop the camera from carrying. So we're just going to start this off, get right into it, and show you more games featuring my Mecha Metagross team. I always get that tongue twister messed up. So he's issuing a challenge. I'm going to lead off with Sableye and Metagross again. Remember, Metagross, this actually is an Earthquaking Metagross, so it has decent matchups against most of his Pokemon. Great matchups against Camerupt, great matchups against Aromatisse, for example, and this is just going to be a great example of that. So we're going to go Mega, gain that Tough Claws, meaning all moves that I use that make contact get a 1.3 boost. So we're going to fake out with Sableye just in case we miss, and we're going with Meteor Mash over Iron Head, and this is pretty much showing why we're going with Meteor Mash. We're getting that attack proc off the Meteor Mash. This means Metagross is like the strongest Pokemon in the history of the game. We're then going to see his Aegislash stance change, go into Blade form, and fire off a huge super effective Shadow Ball, targeting my Mega Metagross. There we go, no tongue twister that time, dropping me down to 41 HP. So no Trick Room out, which means I'm the fastest thing on the board by far. Camerupt's going to come out, try and potentially threaten the remainder of my Pokemon. I switch out into Latios. I'm trying to go for an Earthquake to KO both these guys in one turn. We're going to see Camerupt Mega Evolve, gaining the Sheer Force ability, very similar to Metagross's, gains a 1.3 power boost on all moves, but takes away their secondary effects. We're then going to see his Aegislash hit me with a Shadow Sneak. I cannot believe, and it crit, but I mean, I don't think it needed to. I mean, it's hard to say because my Metagross is very bulky. We're then going to see his Camerupt go for a full HP Eruption, so losing my Metagross there was really bad, and like I said, at this point I was still learning how to play with it, but yeah, Shadow Sneak from an Aegislash is just something you don't expect anymore. So now we're going to send out Mamoswine, potential Earthquake threatened on both of these guys. We're going to see him go for a King Shield instead of a Wide Guard. I was assuming since we saw the Shadow Sneak, there's no way he has Wide Guard and King Shield on that set. So I felt I was safe in sending Mamoswine out, going for the Earthquake here, and we also saw my Latios go for a Hidden Power targeting his Aegislash. So at this point, we're just trying to get Earthquakes down. He's going to withdraw Camerupt, not really wanting to eat an Earthquake in the face, and going out to his Jellicent, a Pokemon that, while he doesn't really resist Earthquake, his defense is quite low. So we go and we get a huge Life Orb Hidden Power Ground boosted attack onto Aegislash, and we're going to pair it up with a Earthquake, hitting AoE damage on my opponent's board. Remember, it is super effective on Aegislash, but this thing is super bulky, and it has another surprise. We're going to see a Citrus Berry on the Shadow Sneaking Aegislash that's made to be played in a Trick Room. I mean, this thing is just full of surprises. So he goes Stance Change, and you guys can really see what's coming here. He's going to go for that Shadow Ball, super effective on yet another one of my Pokemon. Latios is going to fall this turn. So my opponent definitely walling me out with Aegislash a bit, even though I have like a plethora of super effective moves for it. Also nice to note that I crit that Jellicent. That's pretty good. So I'm going to bring Sableye out. This is my last Pokemon. Terrible against this board here. He's going to go for a Protect with Jellicent, and I'm pretty sure he goes for a King Shield here with Aegislash. Yeah, he's just trying to get a very defensive turn, reset the board a little bit, and there's not really that much Mamoswine can do. He knows that I'm going to be Earthquaking here, so he wants me to Earthquake my own Aegislash. Or sorry, not my own Aegislash, my own Sableye, which is exactly what happens. I mean, you guys can pretty much tell, remember, that he has Camerupt in the back, and this is just going to be an Earthquake-a-thon for the remainder of the game, and let's hope I can really grind it out. So Sableye's just going to start spam Recover. Hopefully he can sit here and make my opponent actually like second guess attacking Mamoswine, which is just wishful thinking. We're going to see him then go for a Shadow Sneak onto my Mamoswine. It's going to do a little bit of damage. Yeah, judging by how much damage that did to my Mamoswine, we can assume that that thing would have just done a ton of damage to my Metagross, regardless of the crit. So, speaking of KOs, we are going to get a KO on both of my opponent's Pokemon, and now it's Camerupt versus Mamoswine and Sableye. So this guy's going to come with his camera up. Remember, last time he fired up a huge eruption, which is a move that's based off of your base HP. So the higher HP you have, like your bar, the more damage eruption's going to do. And it goes all the way up to a potential 150 base. So this turn, instead of going for the Earthquake, I thought he was just going to protect. I go for an Icicle Crash and recover. That way I don't really KO my Aegislash. We're then going to go for a Quash. There's no other move stable I can use in this situation. We're going to make him go last, even though I'm sure he was going second anyways. Then we're going to fire in an Earthquake, actually not picking up a KO, but instead of going for Heat Wave, he actually goes for Eruption. So Eruption actually won't be able to take me out here, barely tickling my Pokemon. He's then going to go for another Protect, but at this point he is just delaying the inevitable. And I just want to talk about the fact that he went for Eruption over like a Heat Wave or a Fire Blast or an Overheat. Now, my Mamoswine actually is quite bulky and it is packing an Assault Vest, and it also has the ability Thick Fat, which reduces damage from Fire-type attacks, pretty much making them just not super effective. So I actually think no matter what, I would have lived, but I know he went for the wrong move in Eruption, and he is going to pay for it, getting KO'd this turn by the 4th or 5th Earthquake I've used in a row. So Mamoswine picking up KOs, bringing me back in a game when I was definitely out against that Aegislash. And yeah, I mean, this game was definitely won by picking up a KO on his Aromatisse first turn. I would have loved to get that +1 Earthquake off on that board of Aegislash and Camerupt. That would have been so sweet. I mean, Metagross using Earthquake is just something you really don't see that often, and whenever it comes out, especially after a +1 from a Meteor Mash, which is another move you rarely see, it's so sweet and it's so gratifying. So thanks guys for coming and watching this game. I had a fun time casting it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.